Hello my friend. Today we are going to make a subscribe feature, this subscribe feature. So to do that, first we need to make subscriber model. In subscriber collections, there is two fields, which are the user to and user from field. After that, we are going to make subscribe button, this button. So after that, we will also fetch the number of the data, which is how many subscribers the poster writer has. So one person wrote the post, so that's why we can see this one. So we want to know this poster's owners have how many subscribers. If that person has the 5 subscribers, we need to put the 5 in here. And then we also need to fetch the information of whether I am the video owner's subscriber or not. If I am the subscriber for the person who wrote this post, this has to be subscribed to instead of subscribe. So if I explain it again, if that post owner has no subscriber, we need to put the 0, or if the post owner has 1 subscriber, we will put just the 1 in here. And then if I'm subscribing to that person who has that post, so we can just say subscribe to, but I'm not the subscriber for that post owner, so we will just say subscribe. After getting these two information, I'm going to populate the data on the browser. This is what we are going to do in this section. So first I'm going to make the subscriber model. So we go to our text editor. So first we need to go to the model in here. Before, as we made these video models, we also need to make the subscribers JS. And in here, we're going to copy this whole part from the video model and paste it. If you see here, actually I need to change this one into small letter, subscriber. And then I need to change this name into subscriber schema. And then I need to delete all of the fields for the videos, and then I need to change this one into subscriber. And I need to copy this one and put it in here for the schema, and copy, paste it, and paste it. And we need to make the field in here. First one is the user to. So the person who will get subscribed, type schema and types and object ID ref will be user, and the other field is user from the person who are going to subscribe, and type schema and types and object ID, and ref will be user as well. And now we are going to save this one. We already finished making the subscriber model, and now we need to make the subscribe button. So now we go to detailed video page in here. So if we want to make some feature in here and here, we actually need to put something in here. So first I'm going to run this application. So I'm going to open the terminal, and then I will type npm run dev. So now we came inside our applications. So we don't have a subscriber button yet, so we need to make that one. So come back to our detailed video page. So in here I'm going to make one more component only for the subscriber, as we did for the side video. So first I will say subscriber, but we don't have this component yet, so that's why I need to import subscriber sections and subscriber, and we will make this file. So in here, inside the section, we need to make that subscriber njs, and we say rfce to make the functional component. So we say subscribe, and we save it, and we go to our application back. So we see the subscriber button appear in here. So now we go back to subscribe file. So we are going to make the button in here, button subscriber, and we need to do some styling for this button. First, the background color will be just A 6A, and then border radius per px, and color will be white, and padding will be 10px for up and down and 16% for left and right, and font weight will be 500, and font size will be just the 1 ILM, and text transform to make all the letters uppercase. So now we save it and we come back in here. Okay, maybe I need to change this background color into CCM40, and we come back in here. You see we got our subscribe button, and now what we need to do is to fetch the number of the data, which is how many subscriber post writer has. To fetch that, we need to do the HTTP request. We have use effect in here, use effect, and delete this part too, and then we need to get the Axios again. From Axios, we put that Axios in here and we post, and the API location will be API and subscribe, and then subscribe number, and we need to put the variable. The name will be subscribe number variables. So we don't have this variable yet, so that's why we need to make it in here const. And so which kind of information we need to send to the backend to get the subscribe number. So now we want to get the information how many subscriber the post writer has. So that's why we need to have the user's ID, who wrote that poster. So we will have user 2. So we need to have user 2's ID. But how can we get the user 2's ID? So if we go back to detailed video page, in here we have the subscriber function. So we can give the user 2 props. And then if you see in here a video writer, so we can just say video writer and ID like this. If I send this one as a props, we can get in here as a props. So user 2 will be props and user 2, because I sent this user 2 as a prop, so that's why we can get user 2 as a prop 2. But I didn't put this prop in here. I need to first put that prop inside in here. I can also get the user from information by doing like this, user from, and then we come in here, and then we also need to put user from as a prop. Well, how can we get the user from information? To get this information, first I'm going to let you see our browser in here. So I'm going to just turn on the console, and then we go to the application, and then we come inside the local storage. So you can see there is a user ID, key, and then value. The reason is, so if we go to our text editor, and if we go login page, we are inside the login page right now. So when we do the login, if we were successful to do the login, we will put that user ID inside the local storage by typing window local storage set ID user. So that's why we can have the user ID inside the local storage. So we will get the user ID from here for our user from information. So to get the data from the local storage, we will use local storage and get item and user ID. That's how we can get the value from the local storage. And then now we are going to save it. First I'm going to put this one in here and then save it. Now we did this Axios request, and we will do then and response, and we will do if response and data and success. We will do something. If we will fail to do that, alert fail to get subscriber number. I will go to our application. So we have the error right now in here. The error is we cannot get this ID. So if we think about the reason why we cannot get this ID, there are actually 3 steps to get this ID. But when fetching this ID information, it takes time. But when we render this component, it's actually already late to get this ID. That's why we couldn't get this ID. So if our speed of getting this ID is faster than the time we render our page, so we won't have this error. But the reason is our speed of getting this ID is slower than rendering this page. So that's why we get this ID. So how can we solve this problem? Maybe there are a lot of ways to solve that problem, but I'm going to use this way. So right now, to get this information is very slow. That's why we have error. I'm going to just render this component after I already get the video and writer information. So we do like this. So if we have video and writer information, so if we already have this video and writer information, we will just render this one. So if not, I will just do div thing. So now if I go back to our application, so I'm going to refresh the page. You can see, even though it's very fast, in here loading signal we can have. When we don't have the video writer information yet, so we will just render loading signal in here. So after we get the video and writer, we will render this part. So that's why we can safely have this video writer ID. So now we come back to our subscriber file, and then we will make this route. So we need to go to subscribe routes, but we actually didn't make that routes yet. We only have user routes and video routes. So we first make subscribe route JS, and then we made this routes. First, we also need to do something inside the server index.js. If I explain it again why we need to make this subscribe and then routes and subscribe is, first, if we send the request from the client API subscribe, it will go to this index.js, and then we need to change the route into the routes and subscribe file with the API subscribe. That's why we can get this API inside this file. So first I'm going to bring everything from the video routes to the subscribe routes, and I need to change this one is subscriber model and subscriber model. I need to delete these 2 parts we actually don't need, and this part too. We need to change this one, it's subscribe, delete all of this part and delete this part. And our location for this API is subscribe number, so I'm going to copy and paste it. So we need to bring the subscriber model in here, and then we need to find and which information do we need to send to get that subscriber number information from the MongoDB. That is the user 2. So we can get request and body and then user 2, because we send the information as a user 2 variable. So that's why we do like this, and then execute. We can get error callback and then subscribe information callback, and then we will do if we got the error, return resp and status, and 400 and send error, and if it was successful, response status 200 and JSON success true. We want to send the subscriber number, but how can we have this subscribe number? So inside the subscriber value, it has all of the subscribers informations who are subscribing to this user 2. Oh, I need to change this one into user 2. If it has a 3 subscriber, this value has that 3 subscribers information. But we just want to get the information of how many subscribers this user has. So we just want to get that number, not all of the subscribing users information. So to do that, we will just do subscribe and length. So if we do that, we can just get that number of the people who are subscribing to this user too. So we put this one like this. So this is our first subscribe number router. So we save it, and then we come in here, we will get the console log and the response and data, and we subscribe number. So save it, and we will try to get this log, what we get in here. Yeah, turn on console. Can you see in here we got the 0 back because we don't have any subscriber yet. So I want to just put this information inside the state. So I will use the user state, and then the state name will be subscribe number. So initial state will be just 0 because it starts from the 0, and then we didn't have the use state imported. We put it in here, and subscriber number and response data subscriber, and then we did like that. So now we are done for the subscriber number API. So now it's time to fetch the information of whether I am this video owner subscriber or not. So we will need to have this information. So we do the Axios and post and API and subscribe, and then which variable do we need to put? So I'm going to just use this variable together for this one. To do that, so which kind of information do we need to send? So first, we definitely need to have this user 2 information, and if we think about it, we also need user from information 2 for this API. We already got this user from information as a prop. We put it in here, so we can just put this one in here, and we will do then and response and data and success. We do something else alert to get subscribed information. We are going to make this router. So go to our subscriber routes. In here, we're going to copy and paste it, and we get this location and paste it. We also do subscriber and find, but we need to put one more thing. It's user from. So we say request body and user from. But you know why I put these two properties together for this API? Because we need to find whether I am the subscriber of these users or not. So that's why I need to put my information and then the post owner's information too. So we will get this error or subscribe users information. So now we will get the error or the information, which kind of information this subscriber has. If this user from is the subscriber of this user 2, we will have one documentation. But if this user from is not subscriber of this user 2 person, so we are not gonna have any documentation that comes from the MongoDB. So by using that information, we will know user from is the subscriber of this person or not. So we are going to set the result as a false. This means is this user from is not subscriber of user 2, but subscribe length not equivalent to 0. That means this user from is the subscriber of user 2. That's why we need to change this one into the true. So we need to change this one subscribe, and then we will put this result information like this. So now we go to our client page and subscriber in here. So we try to get that information that comes from the backend response and data and subscribed and save. And in here you can see the false because this user from is not subscriber of this user too. That's why we get the false information in here. So now we also want to put this information inside the state. So use the state again and subscribe put response data subscribe in here. And now it's time to populate that data we got from in here on browser. So in here first we put our subscriber number like this, and then we get this subscribe state. So if we are subscribed, we say subscribed. If not, we just say subscribe. And we also want to change the background color by using the backtick. So if we are already subscribed this person, we will have the color of A6A, and then if not, we are going to use this one. So now I'm going to save it and then come back to our application. Now you see we get the number and then subscribed information in here. So thank you for watching this long video. I didn't expect it becomes this long, but anyway, so in our next section, so we are going to make the subscriber feature again. So when we click this one, we need to subscribe to that person, and when we click this one again, we need to unsubscribe that person. So we are going to make that feature too. So see you in our next section. Thank you.